James.
Well, thanks, Rich. During the regular season, we all know the Saints swept the Bucs, and all week, Bruce Arians was saying it was the turnovers that played such a big factor in those two losses. And he's right. Almost half of Tom Brady's interceptions this season happen in those two losses against the Saints. And this week, Brady said there may not be a stat more closely tied to wins and losses than turnover margin. He said a lot of it is going to fall on him and these wide receivers being on the same page so they can play with anticipation. He told me that him and this group of new receivers, the chemistry has come a long way since the beginning of the year. Since their Week 13 bye, 14 touchdowns, 1 interception. He says the Saints have a lot of swagger, and Bruce Arians also added that he believes our offense, nobody in the league has more swagger than us right now.
We'll get our first look at Tom Brady, the Hall of Fame greatest of all time. Quarterback sneak, spike that ball, Tom Brady. Who says I'm 43?
Kamara walks into the end zone.
Brady throws the ball upfield. It is intercepted.
Alvin Kamara into the end zone. Throw near side. It's picked off. Pick 6.
The Tom Brady era begins with a loss. Bucs hosting the Saints, looking for revenge.
Breeze back in the end zone. Touchdown! Couldn't have gone any better.
It's been all Saints. Brady picked off, intercepted.
It's picked off by the Saints. For the first time in Tom Brady's career, he's swept by a divisional opponent.
That may be one of the most jarring statistics or shocking statistics, or for Brady, most impressive. He never had gotten swept by a division opponent in his career until the Saints did him. And in terms of touchdown to interception ratio and passer rating, nobody got Brady like the Saints have gotten him this year. So my question for you is, Kurt, what does the tape from those two games show you, and how can it actually be used to see what might happen today?
Well, a lot of teams or people, when they look at the Bucs, is they look at all the weapons that the Bucs have. And so they play a little scared, like, oh my gosh, how do we cover all of these guys? The Saints don't do that. The Saints come up and they challenge the receivers of the Bucs. They will get up in their face, they will play tight man-to-man coverage, and they let those 4 guys up front go after Tom Brady. They've had great success rushing 4, getting in Tom Brady's face, making him uncomfortable, and they take away those quick throws when they get up in your face. And so they will do a lot of different things on the back end, but they will challenge those receivers and expect those 4 guys up front to get after Tom Brady, and that's exactly what's happened up to this point.
Jane Slater has the Saints' point of view for this big game. Jane, take it away.
Well, Rich, Alvin Kamara had 2 rushing touchdowns against the Bucs this season. Not bad, right? But that #1 ranked run defense has certainly found a way to limit him. They limited him at 3.75 yards per touch. The rest of the season, he was averaging 6.3. Now, that's probably why Bruce Arians, when put on the spot, was asked, who would you rather not face on that Saints offense? And he said Michael Thomas. But if you look at Alvin Kamara's game since Week 9, it deserves a little bit of respect. He's had nearly 600 rushing yards of offense and nearly 14 touchdowns. So, Mooch, Mike, I got to ask you, do you agree with Bruce Arians, or you put a little bit more respect on Alvin Kamara's name?
Yeah, you really do, Jane. So I ask you then.
They're backers now.
Huh?
Well, those linebackers.
Yeah, well,
they got some linebackers.
Well, the Bucs defense slowed down Drew Brees. They sure didn't do it last game.
They didn't, Coach, and they gave up big plays. They gave up a lot of big plays. That last game, Week 9, it was out of hand early because of those big plays, and that's what the Bucs have to stop. They have to make Drew Brees and his football team walk this ball down the field. Michael Thomas is coming back. That's great. Make him use Michael Thomas in that short passing game. But don't give him anything over the top. Don't give him the short field, and you'll have a chance.
You mentioned the linebackers, okay? Levante David, they got a couple of great ones,
They
right?
got some linebackers.
Right? And Devin White's coming back, the rookie from LSU. Here's their game. They're going to be, there's Alvin Kamara back there. Everybody else is hurt, right? They got one guy, Alvin Kamara, the whole day.
Right.
They got to tackle that guy in the run game, right? Half the time it's in space. That's hard to do because Alvin Kamara is so dynamic. And then all of a sudden, they're going to put him over there in the slot. They're going to put him out there in man coverage. They got to walk out there and cover him one-on-one. These 2 linebackers have to have a great game against Alvin Kamara if they want to slow down.
If they can slow him down, make him walk that thing down.
Walk
you
it
got
down.
a chance. Walk it down.
Walk it down, Rich. Walk it over to you. Take it away.
All right, Michael Irvin, yesterday's NFL game day morning. There's a touchdown by Van Jefferson, whose father was on your staff, right?
Yes, but it had nothing to do with the game. Right?
Correct. That's correct. We did not see that in this final stat line. Aaron Jones getting in the act, saying, I know about Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Donald. There's an Aaron Jones here. 1 yard score, 25-10. as Aaron Jones had 99 yards rushing. Cam Akers just short finger this right in the end zone, and it's a one-possession game until the fourth quarter. 7 minutes to go. Here's the backbreaker, play action, and Alan Lazard to the house.
Beautiful.
And that is the way the Green Bay Packers finish off the Rams in the end. Too many Aarons for Green Bay, not enough Aaron for the Rams, who have a great season, last NFC West team standing, but it is Green Bay that gives Aaron Rodgers his first ever NFC Championship game at home. That had not happened until this came to be. And the Packers are in the NFC Championship game for a second consecutive season since the 95 to 97 teams made it 3 years in a row. What'd you think of this game, Steve?
Well, I think it was a statement game by the Packers. They were terrific. And I didn't see this coming because the Rams defense was so good against Russell Wilson in the Seahawks several games. But Aaron Rodgers was the MVP, Aaron Rodgers. Devontae Adams had his 9 catches and a touchdown. But people, I'm telling you, the story of this game was the Packer offensive line. There is no doubt that Billy Turner and Jenkins and Corey Linsley and Patrick and Wagner and these guys didn't dominate the line of scrimmage. In the run game for 188 yards.
Yeah, they did.
In the passing game, they kept Aaron Rodgers upright. Red Batty, the equipment guy, doesn't even have to wash his jersey. He didn't get touched. And it was an unbelievable performance by the Packers offensive line. They really made a statement in my mind.
Way to get everybody in there, Coach, even the equipment guy.
Yeah, no, he doesn't even have to do Aaron Rodgers' laundry after this game. I mean, the guy...
because Irv went through his hurry-up offense success from yesterday's show, and then his bold prediction success that's about to be. We'll either visit the Kansas City Chiefs or host the Cleveland Browns in the AFC Championship game next Sunday. Steve Mariucci, your thoughts?
Wow, what a game. And windy. And, you know, when you talk about playoff football, you're talking about inclement weather oftentimes, right? Whether it's wind or snow or cold or whatever that was. And I was shocked that Brian Daboll just kept slinging it. They didn't even try to run the football. Devin Singletary had 25 yards rushing. So the limited possessions that the Bills got, they trusted Josh Allen. They said, we're going to throw it, whether it's windy or not, whether we're losing, winning, it doesn't matter. We're going to keep slinging it because we trust this guy. He's going to do the right things. He's going to spread it around. And everybody had, you know, everybody contributed. But I was impressed with the play calling. Not impressed, more surprised with the play calling because really they abandoned the run game.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you something, man. I'm watching this game, and we started this whole playoff conversation that I talked about when we first started, memorable moments marked in history, and we're seeing some of it. That return is, Kurt, he's going to have to look at that for the rest of his life, just like you have to look at yours for the rest of your life. That's that memorable moment marked in history. But I got to talk about my guy.
That's Kurt's tweet. There you go.
Okay.
So?
What's the big deal?
That's a lot of question marks.
Memorable moments marked in history.
I don't get
your memorable moment. Right?
Oh, God, are we really doing this?
It's not even Super Bowl yet.
I don't know how this came up.
I mean, how did he not go out of bounds?
This was not playing. This was not playing, Coach. They had us on the button.
That's my stat. Do not use it against me.
And I do want to say this. Kurt, you eventually took the lead again in that game.
We did.
It wasn't the end of the game right there. I'm just trying to come to your defense.
Right. But for Lamar Jackson and all that we talk about and him improving at passing, he's never thrown an interception in the red zone. That moment right there, that was his first. That's a memorable moment he would have marked in history forever. But what I want to talk about is my guy Stephon Diggs. Oh, my God. I mean, listen. I'm going to be talking about Stephon Diggs throughout this thing. I'm going to ride him all the way. I'm saying ride Diggs because the boy's going off the chain. I told you yesterday when we did it, I was right all 3 times. Diggs got 100 yards. Devontae Adams had 8 receptions. And that's right. And the Bills won by 3 points. As long as you can make me right, I ride you all the way, baby. I ride you all the way. And get this. And Diggs about to make me right on my season-long playoff bowl long season long, playoff bowls.
Yes.
Long.
We get it.
However that
Yeah.
goes. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He already has 234 yards, and he already had 2 100-yard games. Okay, I'm excited.
No, you're right about Diggs.
That is a really long storyline. That is a really long storyline. You didn't leave me any time to talk storyline here. All right, my first reaction off of what Coach was saying is, can't we just play every playoff game inside? I know that's
I'm with that too.
Come on.
I'm with that too.
Here's what I don't like. I don't like when we come to the biggest moments of the season, the biggest moments of our career, and now the elements become a part of the mix. I want the best team to be able to advance. All the elements be exactly the same for every team, but we'll talk about that later. I tell you what impressed me was this Bills defense. We talked about it coming in. This is set up.